Chris, how are you?
Hey
So,
Dale, how you doing?
good, buddy. So, I'm thinking that the surprise move in the market, that 4,900, 48 was important, and we could launch a rally to new all-time highs by late this summer. Am I crazy?
The conditions are available for it. I'll kind of map out the idea that I have of not
Okay.
exactly calling for the that to happen, but like what conditions I could see that happening and what I would want to see
Is the
follow
Fed
through.
part of those conditions?
Not in my playbook, but they
Okay.
are, the howitzer. They are definitely that's not anything that I can organize my stuff around, or I've been able to organize my stuff around. So I'll let smarter people than me do that. But just on the price action side and the conditions in the market, it's certainly available. It's not a hundred
What,
percent or
what,
a 0%,
yeah, I mean, nothing is. So,
right?
but what are the conditions you see that make it possible?
Well, I'll take the screen.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Here we are. Last time I was on was right in, I believe, January. So right over here. This is the S&P 500 futures. On the top is just the regular SPX futures. On the bottom is this tool I use called the SQN. It measures the percent change day to day of the last 100 days. And I use it as a market regime just to get an idea of, are conditions calm? Are they volatile? Do we have the opportunity for a market top or a bottom? So in essence, what just going back for the last 2 years or so, if we just take a look at that chart there, it's nothing about any of this said that markets weren't going to go higher. I don't, it was just consistent. We had, the summer of 2023 that was a little crazy, but once that was cleaned up, even with the August 4th stuff, everything was just bullish the whole way through. In December, we got a signal to exit crypto, to exit S&P, to exit pretty much all traditional equity markets. It sucked. It wasn't any fun. You were watching Tesla and Apple rip to new all-time highs, and we're getting a signal to get out. We took it, we got out, and it didn't seem to make any sense to me. At the time, the markets were extremely bullish, and everybody was new administration and all the exciting talk that everybody had about the environment was really good. The only thing that and this is an after the fact thing, but we didn't get a new all-time high there, and it just consolidated for a few months. Fine, that's good. But I'm always this is where it gets so systematically. I just follow the system. But as we get into a more price action starts revealing information that is useful. If I can organize the markets into like 95% of the way figured out with my systems, this is when I can use the systematic or the my own discretion. And I'll use a term that I like to call change of character in the market. If we're looking back for the last 2 years, you saw a lot of up
Right.
candles, up, 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 up. We had a little down, but then it immediately got caught. Usually, anytime you had a bit of a down, it got caught. In February, that all changed. We had this change of character. It just went straight down, and we hadn't seen that in quite a long time. Not just down, but what
Down pretty hard,
like
10%.
yeah, like 80% of the days were down days. That was a major change in character. We had a lower high, we had lower lows, and straight down. So my lagging market regime indicator didn't really, and it's not supposed to, it didn't catch it. But what it did, it flipped to negative, and that's saying, okay, well, this is not a place to be in. Let's stay out. Let's continue to find other places, and of course, the bonds, the currencies were good, short dollar, long metal, of course, especially gold. short energy. That's where we were mostly focused. So that brings us to today, and this is something we just haven't seen in a while. And so I'm going to flip over to the speed that we move from one to another is extremely useful for me in certain times. And this is just the rate of change of that last indicator. Okay. So the speed that you go from like a bullish market to a bearish market, and so we're measuring how fast and how far it goes down. So we got down last Monday, to the same levels that we got bottoms in 2022, 2018, the 2011 debt downgrade, 9/11, long-term capital management, and Iraq Gulf War One. So the characteristics of all of those are that they were very fast. So they moved from a bullish regime to a bearish regime, extreme, very quickly. The only one that was different was the 2002 or 2022 bear market. It
Yeah,
only did that quickly at the very end.
it was a
It was a
grinder.
it was a grinder, exactly. Over here, we've got this biggest extreme would have been COVID, 1987, and Nixon resigning. That's how profound the COVID bottom was historically. So contextually, this leads me to the idea that if things are not as bad as everybody said they were last week or whatever, then we are constructive to recover and things start, we come back. If it breaks, then it breaks into a Black Monday or a Nixon resigning or a
Oh yeah,
COVID.
under 4,800, and also you forgot 4,800 was the high in 2021, so it's almost like a breakout test if you go
Right.
back to it.
Right. Yes.
20 that 4,800 draws a straight line across it. Um,
Gotcha. Yeah, I see it.
yeah, do you?
We're talking oh, this is ES. Sorry, this is ES. Let's put SPX. Sorry. Let's go SPX.
Yeah,
There it is.
4,800 right there.
There it is. Boom.
Yeah. So I mean, if you take 4,800 out, I think you could be talking 35. So I'm not
Yeah.
bullish without considering the other case. I'm bullish against, I didn't catch that day, but I bought the pullback the next day.
On Tuesday this week.
Yeah, yeah, last week.
Okay, or last
On
week.
the
Yeah.
no, no, it was Thursday after what was the day he did it? Made the announcement. Wednesday?
It was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday.
No, he made the announcement, I think Wednesday, and then
Well, it
we
was
got the
Wednesday
pullback
night,
Thursday.
but yeah, Thursday was the
Oh,
trading day
oh, okay.
of the after the
All right.
news.
Anyway, there was a pullback to, like I don't know, 4,100 the day after.
Yeah, we get down 49, 48.35 was the low, which is I think the high.
So
Sorry.
so could this happen fast and catch everyone
That's
flat-footed? Not it's not going to be a grinding advance. If it's going to happen, it should happen fairly quick. Maybe not as, you know, I'm thinking 4 months it could be there. 4 or 5 months.
I
August.
so a lot of examples. Let's if we look at 20, I think 2018 might be a good analog to where we are. It
Okay.
took a while before we got to that full on bull market in 2019. Um, so this is a look I've been considering the 2018 because it was kind of similar, just a lot longer. It started in September and then we bought them in December. Let me try to make this a little
And
more.
then it was back at highs 4 months later.
Yeah, by the summertime we were at the highs, went back down again, and then we did it again, and we
Uh,
just wore everybody out until we got to the ultimate, COVID
yeah.
top there. But yeah, I certainly think that is a very good possibility. This was December to May, so little over 5 months, 4.5. No, that was Christmas to yeah. So what you're saying, I think, is definitely possible. The bottom that the formation, the way the bottom is happening is very similar to
Yeah,
the
that's a
2018
nice
bottom,
candle.
and and the 2020 bottom, the COVID bottom, where the risk range, this is what makes it so challenging. The buy signal happens at 5,300 or 54.26, but your stop has to be down at 4,800.
Right.
So
That's
you
the
have
tough
to,
part.
yeah. So sizing your positions in there means not only is, you got to have like a big account to just buy like a micro futures, not even
That's why
a
people won't get long because
exactly.
they're all waiting for a dip near 4,800 again. It shouldn't
Yep.
accommodate them.
It didn't do it in 2018. It didn't do it in 2020. It gave you a lot of opportunity in 2022, but nobody wanted it because it was a whole 10-month of grind. But
And most guys are
everybody,
looking for at least one more low, Chris.
they are. I'm with you
And
there.
no one thinks new highs are possible anymore.
No,
Even
they
Tom
don't.
Lee isn't talking new highs. What do you think?
I think the opportunity again, if this fails, it fails hard, and we do get that
Yeah,
major spike.
right.
Great.
Yeah.
Use risk
But
management. Use. I'm talking for us traders. I'm not talking about like what the guys were talking about before. Portfolio managers
investor.
and pensions
Yeah.
and all that. I'm talking about us,
Oh, what
all
do
us
they
here.
know? They bought junk bonds. They didn't even learn that higher yields meant higher risks. Okay, so I mean, I'm
Agreed.
not coattailing them. All right,
Yeah,
so
I think there's an opportunity for it. The next thing I'm gonna keep on my mind is this is just very simple stuff, but it's just a change of
all
character
right,
would be we get a higher low and higher high. We've got the higher low now. We put in a higher high on this little thing. That's a small change in character.
yeah,
These are just little things that add up. We need to use good risk management. We don't just oh, I bought every single futures contract I could possibly afford because we have 300-point ranges on the S&P, 300
yeah.
point ranges. You can't risk manage on that. The call options are just the premiums are ridiculous. So you go buy SPY as many shares as your risk management can handle, and you say we'll play leverage or we'll get into it later on because as it's kind of obvious
Where's that trend line coming in around 57?
if this thing plays out this week, that would be about 50. Like if it plays out today, I mean, we could easily be at
56.
5,600 today. Today, that would be 5,636,
All right, yeah,
easily. So
moves
I
down.
don't think that's hard to break. It's 200 points on
Yeah,
S&P after it's up 8% last week.
a little bond
Um,
stability would help it out, huh?
yeah. That's so everything as I'm sure everybody is aware that when things go bad like this, correlation goes to one. Everything trades exactly the same. Every bonds are down, equities go up. It's just all bonds are going down. The two last week was really outperforming the 30 and the 10. Looks like today everybody's back. We got tens at up on the highest. They're at the bottom of my little array here. I got equities on the top and rates across the bottom. So if you can get that long term, the tens and the thirties, if we can get those strong again, I think that's a very constructive sign.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Um,
anything new in the new year for you? Since we haven't talked in 3 months. How's business? What are you doing? Is your room growing? Are you?
so I moved back with macro ops and
Oh,
so I'm working with Alex and Brandon again at macro ops. And I'll share that out there. You're always kind enough to um, allow me to plug that a little bit.
yeah.
Macroops.com is
Do
our
I know them? It sounds
I don't
familiar.
know. I don't know.
Alex.
We do a lot of macro research.
Okay.
Um, Work with portfolio managers, CIOs, high net worth and family office. A lot of our work there. So I am the systematic quant of the team. Alex is my partner. He's the macro guy, and then Brandon is the very long term value.
Okay.
But we do put out a free newsletter like 5 times a week.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, we put
so
out.
why don't you show people how they could get it so they could
Here they are.
familiarize it? I mean, they could still reach out to you under
Absolutely.
Christine Macro on X, right?
You bet. I'm there.
Okay.
I'm there quite a bit. But yeah, macroops.com, dashops.com. Just sign up for the email. This is some of our latest research. Alex puts out a Monday note, which is the Dirty Dozen 12 macro things. I do a weekly setup email. This is what we're talking about today, basically. Kind of what we showed about today. And then
You
I
know, you're
shared
an oil
some
trader.
systems. Here we
What
are.
what do you think about WTI right here, Chris?
Long, long.
Yeah, I started buying it near the crash. Part of the reason is lotto in case something happens in Iran. Why are you long? Strictly technical?
Yeah, it's a systematic move. I was short. Actually, last time we were on, I was short crude. That was my big
Yeah,
trade
that was
over in here.
a great call.
Yeah, that was just a systematic trade,
Yeah,
which is what this is right here, a systematic mean reversion. We got our thrust. It's hard to manage this one because we're going from 57 or 55 lows to
yeah,
62 right now. That's a big risk window
yeah,
for position sizing, so it's a really hard trade to get on. Which brings us back to the same scenario that people are gonna they're waiting for a lower risk entry, and
yeah, good.
we're in a high risk environment, so you're
Yeah,
you're just conditioned to be in a low risk environment for so long, which is what makes this stuff so much more fun. You have to adapt to the new environment, like you're saying, there people are going to have to chase. Everybody's off the train when it leaves the station, and now you got to run after it to try to get on, and
yeah.
you're
You have to finesse your way in.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not going to feel good. It's we have a lot of war going on.
What do you think? You think we're going to hit Iran? You're an ex-military guy. What do you think?
I am a former military guy. It, it seems like something's going to happen. I would assume something's going to happen in Iran, and it could also be a deal.
Yeah.
I don't. That's like my
The
best guess there.
rationale is Trump needs a win. He didn't stop the war in Ukraine in a day. The Middle East is still, Gaza's still a mess.
Mhm.
That he could use a foreign policy victory as a
I'm open
peacemaker.
to, yeah, I'm open to a China deal. I'm open to China being allies, way more friendly to each other.
You
I'm
really
also
think
open
that's
to
going to
it.
happen?
I'm open to it. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm leaning that that would be more of an outcome uh, than what is
Well, that's
there.
how we get to 7,000 plus S&Ps, right?
Hmm.
Settle this trade war with China in some
Yeah,
way.
or
They
know the
could,
rules
yeah, or they could always start it up again, even if they
for sure.
settle it. Who
That's
knows?
yeah.
Okay, so your long crude view on dollars. Everyone hates the dollar. Do you?
I am. I mean, it's in a trend environment right now. When we're
Yeah,
talking euro, pound,
yeah,
franc,
yeah,
yen, especially, and then Aussie Kiwi really ripped hard off the lows.
yeah, they did.
That was exciting to see, uh, but I think they're generally speaking. I believe, and I don't know anything about what Trump would want to do, but a weak dollar would be you know would work out really well. It would kind of help out the whole trade thing. Money would still be able to flow in to the United States because it's easier to buy things here. I think a weak dollar on the big trend is definitely there. I
They're
think
getting
euros
what they
probably.
want. I mean, we're off 10% since he took office.
Exactly. It's we got long in this area down in here for similar reasons as before with the market regimes. I got out over here. I caught a little bit of a short, but got stopped out and then missed everything here. So I'm really sideline. Other than I'm long dollars in the fact that I have a big cash position right now.
Okay.
We went. We're
You're
up
down
about
10. You're down 10% on your dollar position.
I know, but I live here,
You
so
know
it's a
what? You
little
know
bit
what
better.
people don't think. What people don't think about, they might be down 15, 20% in their stock portfolio,
Yeah.
but they're also down another 10% because it's priced in dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't consider that.
It's tough. It's I spent so much of my life living overseas that when I finally left, the dollar just went down, and every other currency went bid. So my rent like got cut in half where I was living, and it's
Yeah.
living outside the United States. You really get a feel for
Well, maybe
what the
we need
dollar is.
that McDonald's ad where they go, the dollar's down. And then they get, and then so, but you get to buy some things for $1 at
Yeah.
McDonald's. So
I,
they make it look like it is I don't know why people are worried. It's backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government.
and the
I mean, what
military.
else can you ask for with your net worth, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
backstopped by the Fed.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I think
Yeah, who knows?
who
Anyway,
knows?
Chris, good to talk to you,
Yeah,
bro.
likewise, Dale.
I
Always
like
good.
your, I like that. You were open. Maybe you were at least open to this happening. It just looks like it's going to be a V. It's got to just keep going and perplex people.
We
You
are
know?
in it. That has happened, 2018, 2020. I
Yeah,
remember distinctly being everybody calling it a dead cat bounce, 2020 especially for 6 months,
yeah.
even longer, expecting even way new all-time highs. Everybody was
Yeah,
just
they'll
kept
be
calling for
selling
it.
every a lot of people want to sell it up around 56.80 at 61.8. They'll sell every retracement 70 61.8,
Yep,
78.6, 88.3, and
yep.
then we'll be at new highs. Because if you just take closing over 55 with low being 48,
Mhm.
just arithmetically that takes it back to 62.
This is yeah, that measurement is really big. Let's go yeah, let's go 54 to 48. Yeah, just 1 to 1
Yeah,
gets you to let's close enough 6,000.
yeah. All
And
right.
if we're at 6,000 on S&P, people are going to be thinking a lot differently than they are today, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, bro. My
Right,
trading
Dale?
warrior brother,
Yes,
Chris
sir.
Stover, and you can still get him on X at macro degeneration.
Macro-ops.com. Macro ops, just it's a
Mac.
dash between it. We got that great discount on the URL, I think.
Oh, that's right, macro ops now. So, Chris, I'll talk to you a little later. I'll see you probably like July.
Seems that way. Yeah. May, June,
All
July.
right,
Yeah.
all
Hopefully we'll
right,
be
buddy.
7,000. Let's do
All
it.
right, kick some butt. We will, and then we'll be good. That's going to be the short of the
If
decade
I
up
don't know.
there.
I'm
I
a
know.
tough to short equities in my
I know,
world,
I
but
know. Well, that's all right.
statistically is all.
All right.
Gold, my
So
gas on gold, it's
I'm only
fragile.
bringing what's fragile? Gold?
I said gold's a little more fragile in price action up here just because of the speed and distance. So I'm not
We
saying
have
that it's a fragile rally or that it's over or
no.
anything in that sense, just that it's
Yeah, it's diverging.
yeah, it's a little riskier.
Okay.
It's
There you go,
cheaper at
Mike.
2,000 than it is at 3,300. Captain
Yeah.
Obvious.
Yeah. All right,
Me
Chris.
calling
So
myself Captain Obvious,
that's a
guys.
wrap, everybody. Remember, don't just count your spy handles, count your blessings, and you could join the team in 17 minutes on the Morning Edge. And we'll see everyone tomorrow for Turnaround Tuesday. Thanks again, my trading warrior brother. And
Yes,
people are
Dale.
thanking you. And God bless you too, Ingmar. See you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Dale. Have a good day.
All right, Chris, you too, bud.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.